What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's discuss Monday Night Raw from December the 11th, 2023. A pretty okay show for the most part. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, the promo battle was immaculate. Cody and Nakamura had a pretty decent match, and the way it ended was perfect. A perfect ending for that. Drew McIntyre continues to be a kick-ass heel, which I love. Drew should be champion in 2024, but we know it's not going to happen. Although I do predict that he probably will re-sign with WWE in 2024. Same thing with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I don't see any of them going anywhere. I just don't. If Drew does decide to leave, and he'll probably go back to TNA versus AEW, because in AEW he'll just be lost in the shuffle. But Raw, for the most part, was pretty solid. So we kicked the show off with Jey Uso. He comes out, he gets on the mic, he says, last week Sami Zayn was injured by the hands of Drew McIntyre. Jey says that Drew came after Sami, him and Seth Rollins. Jey Uso says that Drew McIntyre is two-faced, but tonight he goes face-to-face with Drew. Drew then comes out and says he doesn't not want CM Punk in the locker room because he will destroy this place from the inside out. Drew says this about Jey. Drew says that Sami got what he deserved, and he says that Seth got what he deserved. Drew also says that he may have had a little bit to do with why Sami Zayn is on the shelf at home. Drew says that Sami made it personal, and he apologizes, but Jey isn't capable of apologizing. Drew says everything is not forgiven. Jey Uso says Drew is about to get beaten. So this leads us into Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. So Drew McIntyre gets the win via the Claymore. He does the old thumb poke to the eye, and then he hits the Claymore. 1, 2, 3. This is great. A solid TV match. Very, very good. This is great. I'm loving heel Drew. Heel Drew kicks ass. Drew McIntyre is phenomenal, man. He's phenomenal. Whether he's a babyface or a heel, he plays either role good. And him being heel kicks ass. This was a very long TV match. This went about a good 20-something minutes at least. So this was pretty solid. There was a lot of near falls. The Samoan drop. Jey Uso hit the spear. Drew kicked out. Drew hit the Future Shock DDT. Jey kicked out. So it was a really solid TV match, though. Next, moving on. So we get a video package of Shinsuke Nakamura saying that he has watched Cody week after week after week. He calls Cody a dog for chasing a car. A dog chasing a car. Nakamura says that Cody is not enough. Shinsuke says Cody is weak because he yearns for admiration from the fans. Nakamura says he's been reborn and will bring an end to Cody's story. Nakamura says Cody asked for this. Nice. I'm digging this. And this was also done in American manga form, where Nakamura was like this dragon devouring Cody and everything. That whoever did that deserves a raise. It was tremendous. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Phenomenal work. Moving on. Judgment Day, they're backstage. Finn asked Dominic and JD to shut up, and the wheels are falling off of Judgment Day. Rhea says Dominic lost the NXT North American Championship to Dragon Lee this past Saturday. Damian says people are not showing up to Raw. Sucks. He says they're going to handle things Judgment Day style. Rhea and Damian, they argue. Rhea says it's time that they remind people that they run Raw, and she'll make an example out of Maxine Dupree. Okay, so we're seeing the cracks within the Judgment Day, which makes sense. I'm hoping that sometime in January before the Rumble, we get the turn of where Judgment Day turned on Damian Priest. I think that's going to happen very soon. I've also thought of a replacement. This is my own little conspiracy theory. So, even though I don't like Dijak's character of Justice actually fits in with Judgment Day. So, if they kick out Damian Priest, they could easily insert Dijak into the mix to replace Damian Priest. I think that would be great. Even though I'm not a fan of Dijak, but that's just a suggestion. Moving on. So, Alpha Academy, they're backstage. They're getting pumped up. Ivy now says she'll be at ringside. So R-Truth walks in and says that he's going to decorate the Judgment Day clubhouse. Chad Gable warns him about this and says that he's not in the group, but R-Truth disagrees. This is great. I love R-Truth. So this leads us into Rhea Ripley versus Maxine Dupree. Rhea Ripley wins in quick fashion. She locks in the Prism trap, and Maxine taps out, and then she holds it in a little bit tighter, and Ivy now steps in, and Rhea begins to taunt her, and they have a little stare down. So that is great. Ivy now versus Rhea Ripley. Sign me up. Sign me up. Moving on. So, Adam Pearce says that the sell pitch is over. He says CM Punk needs to make a decision. So he introduces CM Punk. CM Punk comes out. CM Punk says hearing the fans made his mood better. He says that he has a huge decision to make. He's been thinking about it all week. He says he's been so concerned about it because he loves the fans. He says this building hasn't been kind to him. He says there's a lot of ghosts in this arena. Punk says that he debuted in this building. He says he had Mickey James on his arm and that he got sent to OVW. CM Punk says he didn't want to go, but he embraced being uncomfortable and learned to love it. So he narrates how he was stick to the world title. He says he's focused on the future. Punk says that he had to make the hard decision of his life, and he walked out. He says he understands if the fans are disappointed. He walked out and apologizes. He says Nick Aldis on SmackDown listened to him. He also went down to NXT and spoke with Shawn Michaels. Punk says Adam Pearce has put together a better deal than the two of them. CM Punk says his mind was already made up when he realized he'd be in Cleveland. CM Punk says that the future starts now. Punk says it's been almost 10 years to the day that he walked out. He says that he's signing with Raw and that he's home. Good stuff. Very good little promo from CM Punk. So out comes Seth Rollins. He comes out. And this was tremendous. So Rollins comes out. Him and Punk have a very intense stare down. I loved it. He gets on the mic. Seth Rollins says that CM Punk is fortunate to stand in this ring. Seth asked CM Punk not to call this place his home. Rollins says that Punk abandoned this place 10 years ago, and he tried to tear this place down from the inside out. Seth Rollins says Punk sundered everyone, and now he wants to come back and call this place his home. Rollins defiantly says this is his home. Rollins says everybody in the back is his family, and this is their home. And he'll do everything to protect it from people like Punk. Rollins says he is a bit worked up. He says that he hates CM Punk, but if Punk's going to be part of WWE again, he wants him to be on Raw because the truth will come out. Rollins says this is Punk's last chance. He says either Punk will self-destruct and the door will slam, and he'll slam the door shut on his legacy, or Punk might have miraculously changed. Seth Rollins says maybe one day they can compete in a World Heavyweight Championship match, and he'll expose what the product he is. He says that he can wrestle circles around CM Punk. Then CM Punk responds by saying if he's done, and says that Dallas has one pass to speak to him disrespectfully. He says that he never has asked for things to be handed to him. He says that he's entering the Royal Rumble, and when he wins, maybe he'll come after Seth Rollins. This was absolutely tremendous. I loved every moment of this. This is great. Night 1 of WrestleMania is set. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, World Heavyweight Championship. This is great. Absolutely great. This was tremendous. This was tremendous. Moving on. This leads us into Ivar versus Bronson Reed. So, Bronson Reed gets the win via superplex. Okay, interesting stuff there. So, I guess Bronson Reed continues to get stop and start pushes, I guess. I don't know. He's a serviceable mid-carder, if we're being honest. So CM Punk, he's walking backstage, and he runs into Judgment Day. He asks where Rhea is. Damian welcomes him to their show. And Damian Priest says he hopes that CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight title because he'll be waiting. So then this leads us into Judgment Day coming out, minus Rhea Ripley. So Damian Priest said that he must have to remind everyone who they are, and he demands everyone rise for him. Finn Balor says the Judgment Day are in town. Damian Priest says they have a message for every WWE superstar. Everyone is put on notice. So R-Truth comes out. R-Truth comes out. And R-Truth says that he went by the clubhouse to do some decorating, but it was locked. He says he was not invited to the holiday party. JD McDonough says this is not a party. Damian Priest invites him into the ring. Truth says he got some ideas for the Judgment Day. He says they should kick out JD because no one likes him, which is facts. Truth then says that Damian Priest should stop calling himself the boss because it makes mommy mad. Priest stops him and says he's a funny guy, which everyone likes, except for Damian Priest himself. Then Damian Priest clotheslines R-Truth, and then they all beat down R-Truth. The Creed Brothers come out to make the save, and then they get into a little brawl with the Judgment Day. And the Creeds stand tall. Okay, interesting stuff there. I like it. I like it a lot. Moving on, so CM Punk runs into Drew McIntyre backstage. Drew says he only cares about finishing his story and walks away. Adam Pearce says that Drew's getting a world title shot at day 1, the first Raw of 2024. So Kofi Kingston, Chad Gable, and Ricochet, they walk in and they greet CM Punk. Adam Pearce says they should have a talk in his office. Okay, that's cool, I guess. Probably some type of triple threat. The winner of that faces Gunther at the Rumble or something. I don't know. That's probably where it'll lead. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing Kofi being the one to defeat Gunther, if we're being honest. It'd be something for him to do. Next, KC Squared versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. So they win. KC Squared wins via the after party. Okay, that's fine. Moving on. So DIY are backstage. So, Tommaso Ciampa discusses their upcoming match. Kaiser and Vinci, they walk in and ask who will team with them. Ciampa says they should worry about what Gunther will say when they disappoint. Gunther walks in and wishes them luck. Okay. Next. So Becky Lynch comes out. She gets on the mic and says she came out to call Nia Jax out. Becky says they've never gone one-on-one, and they've been linked due to Nia breaking her nose. Becky Lynch says they need to get to the root of the problem. Becky says they kept missing each other. Becky says she went on to main event WrestleMania while Nia's career took a different path. So Nia Jax comes out. Nia says she's right in front of her. That being Becky. So Nia says her punch was a very lucky swing that almost ended her career. Nia asks Becky to imagine what would happen if she punched her with full force. Becky Lynch says she doesn't hold it against her because she's the most dangerous person in this ring. Nia says Becky Lynch should thank her for her career. Becky Lynch says that what she is trying to change. Becky says it's about getting back up and fighting back. She says that she proved her wrong and it was a lie, and she's a main event star because of Nia Jax. Nia says that Becky Lynch needs to prove to everyone that her career wasn't an accident. Nia says she'll always be the woman who made the man. Becky Lynch asks Nia to shut the hell up because she came looking for a fight. Nia says Becky needs this more than she does, and then she walks away. Pretty funny stuff there. I'm not into Nia Jax versus Becky Lynch. I'm just not. That just feels like a Raw main event. Hopefully we get that before the end of the year. Maybe like the last Raw of the year. Which would be Christmas anyway, so we might get that Christmas night. But it doesn't need to go beyond that. This just needs to be a one-and-done type of feud and move on. Moving on. So, Jackie Redmond interviews Cody Rhodes, who says that he's happy for CM Punk, that he's signed to Raw. He says he had Nakamura not missed him in the eyes. He would have been excited to talk about this match. He says Nakamura is vicious, but he's okay with it. Okay. Next, Imperium versus DIY versus and The Miz. So, The Miz gets the win via the skull-crushing finale. I'm fine here. Again, I just don't like Johnny Gargano. I don't. Ugh. I wish that Gargano was in AEW, if we're being honest. Because Ciampa's the only one that has the upside out of that team. If we're being honest, let's just be real. So Gunther, he yells at Imperium. He runs into The Miz, who says he wants a title match. Gunther grants him the match under the condition that Miz can never challenge for the title again as long as Gunther is champion. If he loses, and then Miz agrees. So that's cool. That'll probably happen at day one, the first Raw of the new year. So that should be interesting. Main event, Cody Rhodes versus Shinsuke Nakamura. So Cody hits the Cody Cutter, then he goes into the Crossroads. Nakamura reverses it. He sprays the red mist. The referee DQs Nakamura. Nakamura attacks Cody. And he hits Cody with a Kinshasa from behind. Nakamura attempts to grab a steel chair. the Creed Brothers come out to help Cody. And then Cody is being helped to the back. And then Nakamura does another Kinshasa to Cody. And then we go off the air. So, pretty cool stuff. It's going to continue the Nakamura and Cody Rhodes feud. That should come to a head probably around the first Raw of 2024. So that would be fine. But Raw was solid because of CM Punk and Seth Rollins, Cody and Nakamura, McIntyre continuing to be a badass heel. Other than that, the show was not that good outside of those three things that I mentioned. But what are you going to do? You know, Monday Night Raw always is a show of ups and downs, twists and turns. It is what it is. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.